YouTube? Country CEO back once again, man. Mo game. Mo game. Y'all know the saying by now, right? Mo game, right? All right, so look, got a good one today that kind of piggybacks off of a previous video I did, which was why did I decide to scale up again? This one is when is a good time to scale up, right? Some of you guys are already in business, maybe at a certain level, and you're trying to figure out when is it time or when is a good time to make that next move, right? Guess what? I got some good things you need to look at that'll help you to determine when is a good time, right? Because I believe there comes a time when you are faced with the chance and the choice, right? Let me say that again. There comes a time in your business where you will be faced with the chance and or the choice. Here's what I mean by that. There are those that are going to have the chance to scale up, and then it's up to them to whether they decide to or not. They have the choice, right? And then there are going to be those that have the choice because business is just so booming that, its ball is in your court, right? All right, so I don't want to give it away, but it's because it's coming to you in a few minutes as to 3 things I think you ought to look at that'll help you to determine when is a good time to scale up, okay? Let's get into it. Number 1. Thing that you ought to look at that determines whether or not you ought to scale up is the market condition, right? When I say market condition, that's a business term for us dump truckers. What does the business look like, right? Both on the local level of your metropolitan area, but then branch out a little bit and see what's happening on the state level as far as work around your state. And then just take a brief look nationally and see how things are looking, right? What is the market condition for your area will help you to determine whether or not it's a good time to scale up, right? And so what particular are you looking at? You're looking at construction in general, all right, but then roads and bridges in particular, okay? Construction in general, all right? Are they building buildings? What the housing market look like in your area, right? Right? Check with your Chamber of Commerce. You've heard me say that a lot of times because they know what be about to happen before a lot of folks know it, right? So how is construction is general in your area? Is it on the increase or is it on the decrease? Are they developing neighborhoods in your area or you ain't developing no neighborhood, people not building houses? All right, so construction in general. But then go to that DOT website, you've heard me say that so many times, and find out is there roads and bridges still being done in your area, in your state, right? That's to help you determine the market conditions, all right? And you've heard me say this before. What's the 5 to 10 year outlook in your area, right? Those are some key things that help you determine the market condition, which is the first thing you ought to look at when it comes to should you scale up your business, right? When we say scale up, just for the sake of clarity, which means add on a truck or 2 or whatever the case may be in that regard, okay? All right, so the market condition, number 1. Number 2, what is the demand, right? For your particular business, right? How do you determine what's the demand for your business, right? Well, here's a couple things you can look at to determine the demand, particularly for you. All right. Number 1, you are overwhelmed with work calls, right? Your phone is ringing off the hook. People are calling and you're getting several calls a day, right? Drop anchor right there and give you a nugget. This is what started happening with me as well, right? Part of the reason why I started because most of you know I had 1 truck. Well, guess what? I started getting extra calls. And I got tired of turning down stuff because I only have 1 truck. You got 1 truck. You can only be at one place at one time, right? Well, now, for those of you who just not trying to get in, you got to start somewhere. So be patient in starting with 1, right? 1 helps you get established. So I say that because I don't want somebody to feel like they got to come in and get 2 right off the bat, right? Baby steps, right? Learn the business, right? Then you can scale up. All right, so you're overwhelmed with calls and you realize that you can work another truck because you're turning down 2 and 3 people every day that's looking for your truck or calling you, do you have a truck? And you and I both know it's only a matter of time before they're going to stop calling you and they go check with the guy that's got more than 1 truck that can supply the need, right? Right? Demand. All right? This thing getting to the point where you just can't cover your normal stuff, right? When you get to the point where you know you got your handful of customers and this thing is going so good that you can't even get to your regular people because you done went over here with some other people that you just picked up. That's a good sign, y'all, that you might need to be trying to look at scaling up. All right? And all of that stuff just becomes a regular thing. The demand is overwhelming and it becomes a regular thing. All right? How do you know when to scale up? The demand is overwhelming. Number two, the market looks good. And then finally, you got the means. You got the means to do it, which means you got the capital, you got the credit, and you're able to do it, right? Because you realize another truck that's added overhead, that's another node. Now you take it up on a driver. If you're driving your own, now you take up on the responsibility of hiring a driver, and there's expense with that, right? All right. Your profit margin on the truck that you're driving won't be the same as on the truck that you're going to get and put a drive on. That sounds like a video idea in the future. The truck that you're on and the truck that you get if you scale are not going to have the same profit margin. Matter of fact, you're going to probably have less profit margin on the truck that you put the drive on. All right. Another video for another time. All right. But the means, you got the money, you got the capital, you got the credit to scale. All right. So that determines, is it a good time? You got a driver. Of course. Somebody got to sit in between the steering wheel and the seat. That's dependable. That's credible. That's a dog with it. That's going to go to work. Don't mind working nights if needed. Don't mind working weekends if needed. You got you a dog that you know going to go get it, right? Right? I hate to, I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but I think y'all know what I mean by that. You got a go-getter. Let me put it that way, right? All right? And then when is it a good time to scale? You got the ability to manage or acquire help to help you do this thing, right? You got the ability to acquire help or to manage this thing yourself by adding the other truck, because you got added responsibility, added accountability, added maintenance for this truck. All that stuff got to be organized and taken care of, right? All right. So one of the things to look at, do you have the means to be able to manage that? Or do you have a wife or a sister or a daughter that can help you do paperwork and to help keep things in order, right? Look, that's my spiel. Let me recap them for you. When is it a good time to scale up? The market conditions are great. 5 to 10 year outlook looks good. Construction going on in your area. Number two, the demand is there. You're getting overflow of calls. It's happening regular. You can't keep up with your normal stuff. Number three, you got the means. You got the money, the capital, the credit, and you got some help. And you got a good driver that's going to help you be able to take this thing to another level. All right? So look, no grind, no shine, man. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, share this video. We out of here. Y'all take care.